this interview we're having a look at sleeping, and we're going to have a look at the two extremes of sleeping, in where one experiences difficulty falling asleep and the other where one find oneself sleeping too much. And we're going to specify both extremes in terms of all the stages that it can manifest within, and also walk you through the mind influence that manifests into that experiences, or those experiences of sleeping too much or not sleeping enough or at all. And to from the get-go also state that in terms of not being able to fall asleep, if it is a situation that is physically chronic, meaning where it had culminated into an experience of insomnia and it is affecting your mental and physical functionings, to consult a medical practitioner in assisting and supporting yourself in your human physical body to stabilize you within your sleeping patterns, while still assisting and supporting yourself to walk your process as the mind influences that accumulated throughout time into that manifestation of difficulty of sleeping. So let us start with sleeping experiences within sleeping too much. Now, the conscious, subconscious, and unconscious minds components that construct one into the experience of sleeping too much varies quite extensively within your process of who you are through the mind. But primarily, the points that one can consider having a look at is resistance to facing oneself and one's world and reality, where one utilizes sleeping to shut down your mind for a moment, to cease to exist within your world and reality for a moment. And that resistance is more physical, unconscious, that then emerge and accumulate and build as an energy experience of resistance that then manifests a physical, mental tiredness and apathy, where one tend to fall into that energetic experience within oneself simply because of the convenience of it, in not having to push through that resistance you experience within yourself and your world, and rather just snuggle into that physical mind experience of tiredness. So one can relate this experience of wanting to sleep more, or just wanting to sleep throughout one's day and during the evenings, where it feels like it's this cloud, this very substantial cloud that's manifested in your mind and throughout the inner layer of your human physical body. And your human physical body also feels more substantial, like there's additional layers within it. And what you also notice within this experience is that you don't really feel your human physical body, like the actual detail of your limbs, your muscle tissue, your breathing, your physical interaction, because your entire focus and attention is constantly and continuously within this energy experience cloud of tiredness. And the more throughout one's day one participate in that, one is in a sense justifying one's energy experience of resistance over and over and over again, because you are participating in it through giving it focus and attention in your thoughts. You'll notice throughout your day how often your thoughts go to how tired you feel, how you just want to go to sleep, how you miss your bed, how you can't wait to get into bed. And that entire starting point participation within yourself, your mind, and your world then feeds that experience of resistance more and more and more, and essentially prepare oneself for bed from the moment you get up from bed or out of sleep. And that becomes your entire life experience, day in and day out. What must be realized here is that the only way that this energy experience is existing within you is because of participation in your mind, and even within and through your physical body, your very behavior, how you are positioning your posture, how you are approaching events, people, and experiences in your day-to-day life. And within that, you are in fact simply perpetuating the experience rather than investigating it and bringing it through into a practical solution for self. I mean, we understand that in terms of the experiences in this world with the mind, it can become overwhelming. But understand that going into that energy experience of sleeping too much, where that sleeping too much you are creating throughout your entire day. So the only way to assist and support yourself is to assert your self-discipline and self-responsibility in stopping participation in the thoughts of the mind that perpetuate that experience of tiredness. Change your posture, walk with your chin up, shoulders back, straight, breathing, assist and support with moving through that energy experience when it comes in like these motions throughout your day. So when that energy experience comes up, utilize breathing to breathe through it, and you'll realize that it'll try and take you to a peak, this energy body or cloud, where it like heightens and becomes more intense. It's simply the entity that you've created as an energy body of the mind in relation to tiredness and sleeping that is trying to survive or fight for its survival within yourself, because you've created the mind, self, and physical habit of feeding it over and over again. So as you walk this process of stopping participation, it's like walking a 21 days of breaking a habit. And initially it is really difficult because it's become an addiction. So it's walking through a mind energy addiction practically step by step. So prepare yourself, because there's going to be moments of difficulty, resistance, initially in the beginning, especially the first 3 to 5 days. And from there to simply remain constant and consistent in your application to transcend this mind, self, and physical habit, addiction, and pattern of perpetuating the energy of tiredness, and stopping walking your day toward bed every single day, day in and day out, and start really participating in this physical reality. Because there's much to face of self in this world, and as I've indicated, that we do not necessarily want to face ourselves in our world and reality and or experience the mind, but it is here and we are it, and sleeping day in and day out is not going to change it. It's actually going to make it worse, as you've also noticed throughout your process with this sleeping habit of sleeping too much. This energy becomes more and more intense. It becomes more and more difficult to wake up. Experiencing and walking through your day becomes more and more difficult. So it's time to stop before it gets to the point where you separate yourself into this one energy to such an extent that that permeates and infiltrates your entire view and experience within this world, when there is extensive, innumerable amounts of moments of opportunity of life in this world and this reality. So with sleeping too much, it's a matter of discipline, application, and responsibility. So that is a practical application process you walk. Now for your writing and self-forgiveness, we suggest having a look at who and what within your world and your reality do you resist facing. It can be your mind, it can be your thoughts, it can be problems, conflicts inside yourself, it can be specific people, it can be your job, it can be the very act of walking. I mean, you'll come up with the strangest points that you resist as don't enjoy doing, don't want to do, dislike doing, would prefer not doing, don't feel like it, you know, things like that you have to look at, because those are indicators of resistance. So what you've done within this point of sleeping is you've created a total resistance to the very act and participation of living in this world. So within your writing and your self-forgiveness, you've got to assist and support yourself to walk yourself out of this entity, this energy, personality, essentially, that you have created towards sleeping. And in your writing, you can take it on point by point, take it on in starting with the most prominent point in your world and reality within yourself that you resist. Within the indicator points of, I don't feel like doing it, I don't want to do it, I can't do it, it's too difficult, you know, like that complaining, victimization standpoint towards something or someone. And walk your self-forgiveness and forgiving yourself for accepting and allowing yourself to approach that within resistance, instead of assisting and supporting yourself to find a solution. I mean, there's a lot of things in this world and reality that we don't like doing, like going to work, having to interact with friends at school that we're kind of forced to because those are the only people that's in the school, having to walk a certain distance toward your job or school and things like that. Unfortunately, those are things that we cannot yet change in this world. We have to assist and support ourselves to walk it, live in this world within a starting point of finding solutions for ourselves, for others, and how this world is functioning, to assist and support our walking and our living into a life that we can all enjoy. And realize that sleeping it all out is not going to change anything, not you, not your life, not this world. And to change, we actually in fact have to practically, physically do it, walk it, live it, and be it. And the processes of writing and self-forgiveness will help you release that energy experience you have toward things, to assert yourself inside yourself and to simply do them to get them done. That there's no energy experience toward going to your job, toward having the friends that you do, having a look at more within what can you learn about yourself through these friends or at your job, or as you're walking, what is it that you missed that was always around you in your environment because you were so lost in your mind. Maybe even start a blog or vlog about what you've realized that you've actually missed throughout your day, your interactions with people and within yourself, because of this habit and pattern of just wanting to sleep all the time. And that would be an interesting process of revelation for yourself. As you walk your process also with resistance and having a look at problems or conflicts within yourself, you actually sit yourself down, do it, walk the writing, the self-forgiveness, and share the realizations you've come to, and realize how unnecessary the resistance was, and an entirely new world is opened up in front of you. Alright, so next point is difficulty sleeping. So let's first have a look at that minor dimensional experience of not being able to fall asleep, where one in evenings wake up often, or where one in the beginning struggled to fall asleep, where it takes like quite a while, and then the points where now and then on occasion you simply roll around in your bed and really can't fall asleep throughout the night, where it's like you are in a state of half sleep. You know you're awake and you know you're kind of sleeping. And as we've said in the beginning of the interview, your extreme cases where you're not sleeping at all every single night, where you're waking up every single night, and that accumulates into a process of mental, physical discomfort and functioning, impairing functioning in this world and reality, to consult a medical practitioner or homeopath to assist and support with supporting you while you're walking this process that we're going to delineate now. With the points of starting with struggling to fall asleep, here what's happening is you, in yourself, in your mind, within your human physical body, are unconsciously experiencing conflict within yourself towards a particular point or points within yourself and your world that is mentally and physically bothering you. And it's like, if we have a look at the interdimensional physical interaction of what happens with your mind and physical, it's like these points you have energetically suppressed into your unconscious, and they're literally like moving and motioning inside you like these threads of energy that is alive within your mind and physical. And this constant movement and motion is what is manifesting the mind into a alertness, because there's such substantial movement within your mind and physical. So the mind consciousness system with you in the human physical body would usually go to sleep because of how your patterns throughout the day motions within yourself. So there's actually a circuit running where the mind kind of shuts down and starts shutting down within and during the evening time. And that's the whole mind consciousness system. So if you are quite set in the mind functioning of sleeping, where when it starts becoming evening, it starts shutting down more and more and more, and taking you into that domain of sleeping, then your sleeping patterns will be quite consistent. However, what does happen is there is a point within you, or points within you, that is generating so much energy, and the mind is not successfully shut down toward evening time. What manifests is the mind thinking that it's still busy and functioning, and there's things that it requires to upload and change or alter and evolve and things like that. And therefore you'll kind of toss and turn in your bed because there's actual things, points, experiences inside you that you haven't dealt with throughout your day or the past week. And you'll physically experience it as well, where it's like you can't find a comfortable way to sleep physically. It's like you lay one moment and you just want to move another direction, then you want to move this way, then you change your pillow, and then you change your position. So those would signify these movements of energy within you that's not settling because you haven't settled yourself and stabilizing yourself in them. What we suggest here is taking a pen and paper, sitting in front of the PC, get yourself a nice warm cup of something to drink, and have a look at what is this energy experience inside you that's causing you not to sleep. And if you breathe here with your human physical body, you'll experience the energy in your solar plexus. What you have to do is identify that energy experience and have a look at where and toward who did you experience that energy in your day. You can also look in your memories or the past week and have a look at what event happened within your mind or toward a person or toward an environment that caused this reaction within you that you immediately suppressed instead of investigating and looking at, which made quite an impact on you, but didn't realize to what extent that impact was really influencing, affecting, and controlling your mental and physical functionings in your world. If one cannot immediately get to the energy experience, then the forums are available, the Desteni Forums. You can have a look at the thread, Ask a Destonian, and share the points and experience there, and asking if anyone has experienced a similar energetic experience in their solar plexus. Then have a look at what is it that they're experiencing in your solar plexus or chest area. Is it constricting? Is it nauseating? Does it feel hard? Define the physical experience, and then you'll have assistance and support in relation to beings that's experienced the same, that can identify the emotion or energy or feeling that is signifying, and from there relate it into your world and reality. And the next point is where you would sleep but keep on waking up during the night. Here you're having a look at fears and anxieties, where that is accumulated through stress, where what happens is you've accumulated so much fear, anxiety, and or stress within your human physical body through your mind that you with your body cannot relax and really let go and rest. So if that happens, we suggest, even if it's the middle of the night, or if it's better for you then to the next day before you go to sleep, the next evening, to have a look at fears, anxiety, and stressors in your life experience toward people in your past, or even your mind that is generating an extensive amount of fear, anxiety, and stress. Do the writing, walk the self-forgiveness, and flag point those instances or moments where you've realized you're going into extensive fear, anxiety, or stress, to, in your practical application in your world and reality, be able to identify them, and in moments assist and support yourself with breathing, not participating in the reactions, and asserting your living to become more stable rather than perpetuating fear, anxiety, and stress that is causing impairment in your sleeping, and so mentally and physically harming you, because it's quite extensive when one keep on waking up in the evening. So that waking up in the evenings is like a haunting, if you will, that happens, where it feels like something's waking you up every time. Which is your own fears, anxieties, and stresses. Then the sleeping, where you really can't sleep the entire night, but not as a constant, continuous pattern, only like something that happens really now and then. Here, this is when you feel that you didn't complete something during your day or during the past week, with something or someone, and within yourself there is a constant worry about that particular thing or point or conversation, where you feel you didn't bring it into its completeness, and with that you cannot rest or sleep or let go, because you within yourself feel your day or that point of relationship or your task is not done, and then it becomes a unconscious experience of constant continuous worry, and your mind cannot settle within that thing or that point not being completed, and that becomes a physical manifestation of concern. So here you're looking at worry and concern about something or a point or experience or conversation that you felt was not complete. Here, while you're then in your bed, on your back, hands next to you or however comfortable, not masturbating, because this is a point you've got to walk through yourself in your self-forgiveness, that you can walk while lying in bed, is to assist and support yourself with having a look at what is that thing that you feel you didn't complete, that is kind of hanging in the air, that is causing a worry or a concern. Realize that in this very moment, I cannot do anything about it right now. If you can, go ahead and bring it into completion. It can be a blog or a conversation that you had with someone, or completing a task that there's something that just doesn't feel right or sit right, or that you felt was okay but there was like something missing. Realize that you can't do anything about it right now if you really can't, like having to phone someone or completing a task that took a lot of tools and utensils and things, and you can't take it all out now. Then simply say to yourself, okay, breathe and make peace with the fact that I can't do anything about it right now. Let me rest, close my eyes, sleep, rest myself, my body. I will get to it tomorrow morning and see what it is that I require to do to complete it and be satisfied with it. And you can walk yourself forgiveness if you feel that the reactions are still emerging within you in terms of assisting and supporting yourself to release yourself from the energetic experience to that task or conversation or a moment or experience that manifested, to really just let it go in that moment so that you can rest, because you're here in your bed, you're supposed to rest. Your mind tends to take you through time and various other places, and so it's simply an assertion of I'm here, I'm in my body, I'm breathing, I'm resting. So make that point directive, and you can do it in all contexts, both within sleeping too much or sleeping too little. You can assert yourself like I'm resting, I'm here in my bed, and I'm only going to rest so much. Also with sleeping too much, you've got to discipline yourself in sticking to 5-6 hours a night. That's all you need mentally and physically. If you do physical hard labor throughout your day, go ahead and do your 8 hours. But if most of your activity is only mental and incrementally physically orientated, 5 to 6 hours is more than enough. And that you are going to feel tired, especially the people sleeping too much, when you start asserting your time to only 5-6 hours, not more. I mean, you can do less, but also not too little. Keep it to 5 to 6 hours, and first 3 days is gonna be walking like out of an energy addiction, and you've got to assert and discipline yourself with breathing. Alright, as we've mentioned, we've got the forums available, so if you have any further questions, go to Desteni and we'll assist and support with clarifications and expansions. Thank you very much.